Good afternoon, everybody. And Robin, Mark, thank you for joining me here on our live AMA today. This is going to be good. We have a fairly substantial amount of updates to give people today. I'm quite excited about this, but more importantly, it's been quite amazing to see that we're already actually in June as we're starting to fast approach summer months. And I think that it's going to be a very exciting summer, at least for us. Maybe not so much for the amount of work on Robin's desk and the tech side of things, but we've got a great roundup for you guys today to tell you a little bit about what's happened over the course of the last month. As always, if you have any questions or anything like that, please don't hesitate to ask. You can leave them in the chat directly here on YouTube, or if you're in our Discord channel, you can also ask anything there. We will try and answer everything, even if you're leaving this because you're watching it later on as a recorded message. But again, thank you for being here if you are with us live, and thank you for watching this if you're watching the recorded version. To get us started today, what we're actually going to talk about, and I feel a little bit left out, I won't lie, but Robin and Mark, you managed to actually finally get some face-to-face time for the first time in quite a while, I think. So, Mark, do you want to tell us a little bit about what you guys managed to do and how you managed to get together?
Yeah, I think, as you say, time flies, but I think it was also a great time to meet people again. And the reason we had a chance to meet was the follow-up of our hackathon around DataUnion, the SNI Experimental Zone in Amsterdam, which was a great event, and we'll speak about it, but gave us also the opportunity to meet in person and use that time to digest the learnings and impressions from the phase one and turn that basically in ideas for the next phase. So growing from the project into a real platform. So very exciting to do that in person, and using now the time after 2 years of, let's say, meeting absence or virtual meetings to really get together. And yeah, I think very exciting ideas and thoughts that came up there. I'm very grateful we had that opportunity.
Fantastic. And Robin, from your side as well, I know that you guys have been working tirelessly, I think, on some strategy, some planning, some next steps for us, as well as reviewing what's been going on up until this point. Is there anything in particular that you'd like to talk about today?
Yeah, so I mean, from my point of view, we learned a lot. So like, I mean, we completed our seed round, and we have been interacting with a lot of projects. We have been forming data unions, from the scratch, and also ones that are more advanced. And it's just important to take the time sometimes, to really sit down and go through it and reflect on it, and then to come up with a plan for what's next. Like it's always phases and seasons. Like we're not willing to make a white paper or light paper so far, because every month basically things change too much that we would have to rewrite it. So it was also a good decision. But now we have the feeling that we have some substantial amount of information and concept really solidified, that we can now take the step as a next step, which I think is very important also towards a future token launch that we want to do. And yeah, so this was really great. I think the last time we met was last year in, I don't know, August or September. So like it's been really more than half a year. And yeah, it was great to visit Mark in his home and meet his family again and everything. So yeah, awesome times and great synergies, great things detected. And I think the stack of paper was like this high or something of all the notes that we took. So I think a really a great outcome for the amount of time spent.
We won't talk too much about the big stack of paper. Eventually it'll all go paperless, right? It's not a problem, but there isn't anything
this is the
better.
process. This is the process that is started now, to go from the paper into a digital version, and then we will want to present this to everybody.
Fantastic. So we can be expecting then for everyone out there that's interested, we will be getting started on working on the actual light paper. So that'll be something for everyone to look forward to over the coming weeks.
But I think the light paper is also, I think one learning we had is it's not just us kind of rethinking it and coming up with ideas. It's also an invitation for everybody to join the dialogue, digest the experiments with us, bring in the ideas. So we do that already with all our data union stewards, which is a great, inspiring process. But I think also the new ideas and learnings are basically invitations to grow that further with us.
as with everything we do, we're always looking for more collaboration from the community and actually to get that input, because I think we've always said it, but together we can do more. And that's a big driving force in everything that we're trying to do. Okay, so you guys mentioned it very briefly, but you haven't given anyone any real insight yet. But we had the SNI, so that's Sovereign Nature Initiative's Experimental Zone Event in Amsterdam last month. And you guys both attended as part of being there together and people in person. Who'd like to go first in terms of telling a little bit about what the event was and what we were trying to achieve?
I can say a general introduction, and maybe Robin wanna speak a bit more to the specific approach. Then I think SNI, the Sovereign Nature Initiative Foundation, also used the opportunity to bring the wider community together of people who experiment around sovereignty and sovereign data around nature. There were great people, artists on the one side, tech people, and also experts from the sustainability field. So a great crossover. Over 800 people that gathered in a very special location that actually I personally connected with 10 years ago when I joined and moved here to Amsterdam. So it was kind of reviving it. And funny enough, on the last evening, I actually met some of the founders who also joined the celebration there. So it was after that 10-year journey there, quite reviving. And very energetic meeting where we also learned and connected with other projects. So we found partners for the data unions in our ecosystem that we could team up. We got great feedback and inspiration for our own solutions. And basically, it's a stepping stone and milestone on the journey of a data union. We started with the hackathon and the concept that we won around. And very grateful to have had in-depth discussions there also with the leadership team to see how the partnership can unfold.
Fantastic. And from a tech point of view, then I think we'll go to Robin and get a bit more insight.
Yeah, so I mean, in the hackathon, we presented a concept in February. Now we already made the next step. So we have our app defined now. We already started developing it. It's not released yet, but it will be soon. So I'm testing now an initial version. We will then also release that and give people access. And this is also something that really connects to other teams that presented there. So like the way they are handling things and the way they want people to collaborate always points in the direction of the way we do it. So today after this call or after the AMA, 2 hours later, I have a call about like a feedback session or like seeing where things are going to go next. And that's also where we see ourselves, like in talking to Paul, the CTO of SNI for a long time at the event. And yeah, there's so many synergies, the way they want to do things and the way we are doing things. So like we are probably also going to be one of the tech partners that they're going to collaborate with. On Sunday, there was also then, from the technical point, a brainstorm session. I was in a team with Trent McConaughey from Ocean Protocol. So we were riffing on how to make the planet into a data union, kind of in a way, so how everybody could start collecting nature data and how this could then work out for SNI. So this was a stream where new ideas and concepts were developed, how things can go forward. So and this is like one part of it, but on the other hand, like meeting all of the other teams, meeting the crowd there, discussing what we can do and how this connects to other topics. So like meeting people came up and said like, hey, I have an idea for a data union. Could we connect and then we talk afterwards. So like this is always great, to expand the network. And yeah, so from my point of view, this is all just getting started in a way, but now we feel kind of at home also in the community. So I love to talk to these people and work with them. So it's a great opportunity for us.
It sounds like a fantastic event. And more importantly, just like when we did the virtual version of the hackathon, we met so many incredible people, and it sounds like that's happened all over again. Some people that we know already, but other new projects and new opportunities. There's nothing better than coming together like that to find new opportunities for collaboration. And again, that's what we're all about here at Data Union. We want to work with other projects, with other individuals, with anybody who's looking to make an impact. So if you'd like to find out more about our Nature Union, excuse me, we'll be adding a link down below into the video description so that you can access our interactive Miro board, and you can leave any feedback that you might have in terms of what we're trying to do. We'd love to have a conversation around that with you as well. So now we're going to move on to a much bigger topic, and probably this is going to be more in-depth or more complicated than maybe I would always understand. But we have the Ocean Protocol v4 update coming up very soon, this coming month. And Robin, I'd like to talk a little bit about the idea of what our existing contributors from season 1 will need to do going forward to help them basically be able to collect on their participation. So what does the update mean for our existing contributors?
Yeah, so on the one side, everybody who has been staking into our liquidity pool on the Ocean marketplace, you have to take your liquidity and then stake it into the basically the contract that does the step from Ocean version 3 to version 4. So if you go to the marketplace and to our data asset there, to our data set, you can click a button. It will ask you to approve to spend your liquidity, your LP tokens, and then you have to actually also send them there. So this is a very important step, because this will then mean that you get these tokens then, and basically you get an airdrop on Polygon, but you also get the bonus. So like that's then a reward for taking the time given out by Ocean. But basically this also means then that our current data set is going to end. So like if you have bought some of the data tokens, Ocean is also going to give you the Ocean tokens back, but also on Polygon with a 50% bonus to our current 200 Ocean token price. That is actually the case right now. So like basically this is a transfer. So like after that, Ocean version 3 is basically out of commission. So like it doesn't really work anymore. Ocean is also going to withdraw then the Ocean tokens out of these liquidity pools, of course, I mean, as they're ending it. But yeah, so please do that. We will also want to post more detailed instruction about this soon. And that's like for us, basically also as we're ending our own season 1, it's also an end of a season for Ocean Protocol itself. So it has been going on since October since October 2020. So it's been a while since they started this, but it's of course a very successful experiment. Lots of learnings have been made, and the new version will then also mean that we will also publish a new data set. But we will then also announce this in more detail when we do that, so that everybody can then also stake again. In the new version, there's a major difference. So then it doesn't matter anymore too much whether you join in the first day or or later to provide liquidity. So that's a major overhaul from version 4 over version 3. So you don't have to be afraid. You know, if we announce then that we do the pool, you want to stake liquidity again, that's then not a race anymore. So that's very important. The same as going out of the liquidity pool is not a race anymore. So that's very important also in the terms of dynamic, big major change from version 3 to version 4. For us, on the other hand, it also means that we can publish our data set as computer data. It's not like this right now. So then we can also start selling the data more actively, the data set behind it, and then also create then insights on top of it and also sell them. So like for us, it's now the time to really release these things and set the things in motion. So our team has been working on this for a long time to get there. Now Ocean puts the facts on the table. So yeah, we also basically now pushing to do this as soon as possible. As usual, I don't like to give any dates, hard dates until things will be happening. But yeah, rest assured that we're working on this. So, and this also then means now you will get your rewards for what you did in the past. So we are still as the Krika token does not exist anymore, but now basically we had bought these tokens already in the past. We have spent some Ocean for this, but we will now get it back. We can now also pay out these rewards. And we're still thinking about whether we give them out in Ocean tokens or we give it out in the new data tokens of the new data set for Planet Computer Vision. We did not make a decision about this yet. If you have any comments regarding this, what you prefer, please leave them as a comment or talk to us in Discord. We are open to this and to feedback from the community. In a way, we have the Ocean tokens now back, so we could also give you Ocean tokens if you prefer that. So we could also have both options. We did not make a decision about it yet. Yeah, but you can see lots of opportunities now, and then also lots of work that's coming up, but also great changes. Basically, season 2 now really starts as season 2. So like major change in the whole concept.
One thing that you didn't mention, Robin, whilst we were talking about this, but is that version 4 of Ocean Protocol brings with it data NFTs, a fairly new concept for many people. For those that don't really understand or that haven't had a chance yet to look into that, do you want to give people a little bit of insight into what that actually is and what that means?
Yeah, so for us, as we did not work with it, it's going to be also a major change. But the data NFT basically is a great technical upgrade. So in the past, everything you did with Ocean Protocol was always bound to your own wallet. So if you would, for example, be an organization where you have more than one party involved, it's very difficult, to give then everybody access to the same wallet. On the other hand, also if you would like to sell your data or transfer it somewhere else or make sure that it can last over one wallet, if then this data NFTs really add something to that. But on the other hand, it also allows you to bind many different data offerings to one data NFT. So you could offer your data, for example, for different kind of periods of time. So you could say, like, if you want to access it for 1 week, it costs this much, 2 weeks this much, But on the other hand, you can also then publish data, and you can give, for example, a data union the opportunity to manage the access to your data for you. So like if we go into the direction of decentralized data storage, so you could then store your data on a, for example, Filecoin. You can bind this to your data NFT, and you can then give data union or any of the data unions that we have then access to manage this for you. So like then also enhancements can be happening on your behalf, via this data NFT. And all of this can then be managed through us. So like this makes it really much more comfortable for people, for everybody who's participating to really do that in a more decentralized manner. For us, of course, this means we have to put in some work. So this will not be something that happens again tomorrow, but for us, it's also a new chapter to think about how this then changes the way we can set up all of these things. And there's one more thing, like Vitalik Buterin has talked about this soul-bound NFTs. So there was a recent paper, lots of discussions. I mean, the data NFTs are kind of a step in this direction. So if you look at the profile picture NFTs, you have like one image connected to one point on the blockchain, which you can move and trade whatever you want with it. Now the data NFT is a bit different. So it has the opportunity basically it has like a storage for data. So you can add data to it. You could encrypt this data, only allow certain parties to access certain part of the data. You can then also enhance it and change it. So like it can also become kind of like your avatar, like a profile. So like you do something in a certain application, it can store it on the data NFT. You contributed something in the data union, it can be stored on the data NFT. So it's then an object that can change, but it's connected to you. It's you own it. You can also sell it and trade it and whatever you want with it, like normal NFTs, but it's much more advanced. And that's mainly due to the extension of using ERC 725, invented by Fabian Vogtsteller from Luxor. So like, just some background. But I think a lot of things will come out of this. So like it gives an opportunity also for very many new opportunities, like, for example, data NFT dashboards, like opportunities to deal with who did you give access to it, which data is there, sharing data through your data NFT, and taking this basically as your cornerstone of your digital data storage and your digital data management. So I see a lot of opportunities here, and looking forward to also work on this. So we have working group around this already. I'm talking now also to people to make a working group around the smart contracts, to make frameworks around this, and the Ocean community itself in the Cork Tech working group and is also very interested. So like we're trying to connect to them as much as possible, and then I think this will bring a really huge step forward for the whole Ocean ecosystem and us as well.
Fantastic. So we will be talking more about this, and we will actually be posting some instructions and help for people who were involved in season 1. So don't panic if you didn't catch everything that you need to do next. We'll have some more information out very soon for you. And in terms of what the Ocean v4 update means in general for the space and for us as well. And we're going to be excited to be talking more about that over the coming weeks and probably months, actually, whilst Robin and the team are busy furiously building for this new technology. Mark, I think before we wrap up, it'd be great to talk a little bit about how the ecosystem continues to grow. We've had some interesting conversations recently, some interesting new opportunities and partnerships, and I believe as well we've got some events with partners coming up in the next month. So could you tell us a little bit about what's been happening in the greater ecosystem for DataUnion?
Yeah, I think it's great that the ecosystem is so engaged and growing. And on the one side, we receive new union requests and interest from different channels who want to explore that idea, and that we can help onboard, or people can build on the experiences and the technology that is already there. So I think that is great to see. So in that sense, we found a new partner, Pollinations, in the field of generative art, that can build on the unions, but also apply unions to their outcomes, the generated art NFTs. So there are various ideas and options to partner and deep dive in a field that, like Robin said earlier, is very close to our core union that we already developed around the images. That is one example. The other unions keep growing and keep building their own ecosystems in their fields. So it's great to see that there are events being created to introduce the idea of data unions to a broader audience, help people educate, bring in their own ideas, but also dive deeper and generate the data, in that case here from sensor data. The sensors have been installed, generating the data, and that of course makes it always exciting when live data is coming up and the union really physically starts to grow, and it's not just paperwork. So that's very exciting. And on other unions managed to get grants. Some following with a journey with the ocean ecosystem, others teaming up with it, also with other unions. And so there are various ways how the ecosystem is growing. And aside of all that, there are the discussions around our own DAO development and evolving from a platform into a protocol. So exciting insights from this angle as well. So whoever is interested learning more, reach out to us. There's a lot to discover.
Fantastic. And as always, everything that we do look to do collaboratively. So honestly, if you are watching this, if you're interested in talking about how data unions could govern themselves, how they could end up with DAOs to help with that governance, please do feel free to jump in on our Discord channel. You will find a link below, and that'll also give you access to Robin, Mark, myself, and the wider ecosystem, the wider team, who have been fantastic, continue to be fantastic. And I've got to be honest, we do have some very interesting conversations on some of these calls. So there's always something to look at. There's always something new happening. And therefore, we always end up with a very, very eclectic group that come together to try and find potential solutions for the future. So I think that's it for today. We're going to wrap up. Again, if you're watching this as a recorded video, thank you so much. Please don't hesitate to leave us any comments or questions you might have. You can either do it here directly on the video, and we will keep an eye on that, or alternatively, you can join us in Discord. And otherwise, Mark, Robin, thank you so much for your time again today. It's been fantastic, and I'm glad that we've given everyone a quick update. And if there's nothing else to add, then I think we'll say until next time.
Good. Thanks for hosting us, and thanks everybody. Till next time.
Yeah, thank you everyone. Take care.